What do we do now? Should we get Kermit? We don't even know where he is. Then it's final. Rico, bring us to the public staging base. Yes, sir. But don't we need Kermit? We know that Kermit has the info on hand. We tell the public he has it, and they'll send out a search party. Oh, they trust us. We're just a bunch of D-bags. Because I have someone who can vouch for us. And who might that be? Remember Admiral Daley from the Cameras campaign? They're asking for a confirmation code. Use Daley's personal code KB2BCL.
Wait, is that who I think it is?
Gary, long time no see.
Sergeant Rico, how have you been?
Good, yourself?
Not so good. Our ship was shot down. I lost most of my men.
Sorry to hear. Well, come right along. The Admiral will get here shortly, but Captain Theory is on the bridge.
Gus, is that you?
Lucas! You're right. Did I miss something? We were all in the same squad when we were training on Camino.
George, is that you? Still whiny as ever.
Shut up.
Come on, let's go get something to eat. You all can come.
I'm gonna stick with Gary. Me too.
Are these the traitors?
These men would never betray the Republic. You can count on that.
What is the information you brought us then, Gary?
If you don't mind, I'd like to save this information for the Admiral.
Commander Gary, it's been a while.
It's good to see you, sir.
I had to break a lot of rules to get you guys here, so this information has to be good.
Flaws. There's a troop on Kashyyyk named Kermit. He has the plans for a Separatist walker prototype on him.
Well, where is he?
That's a problem. We don't know where he is. We're hoping you could find him.
We can certainly do that. I'm assigning Sergeant Rico and Lucas to go with you once we get the coordinates for his position. If it goes well, I will see what I can do to get you welcomed back into the Republic. I assume you won't all be needing to go, so if any of your men would like to stay here, they are welcome to.
Thank you, Admiral.
Take care, Gary.
Why are we even trusting them?
I was their superior officer on Camino. You'll never find a more loyal group of soldiers.
So it's probably best that I don't go on this mission. We didn't exactly leave Kermit on good terms. Alright. Okay, we're gonna need a few men for the recon mission with me, Rico, and Lucas. I'm in.
Gus, good to have you. George, want to join us?
Come on, George! Alright, I'll go.
Looks like the whole squad's back together.
Hello everyone, it is I, Republic Studs, here with Clone Traitors Episode 2. Now obviously this one is much more happy and uplifting than the last one, in which we saw all our friends die, but obviously we had survivors, and it was absolutely a great episode, 4-minute long opening, you should totally check it out. But yes, so my friend Rick Regen is back to voice Gary and all of his friends, check out Rick Regen, and it is absolutely great. We are having a combination slash like almost a crossover of Rico a Lego Star Wars story and Clone Traitors, which is absolutely amazing. I am so happy about it. It's actually been great. I'm really happy with how this has turned out. We got my man DaleyTactics back to voice Admiral Daley. I obviously was there to voice Rico, and Captain Lucas is back from the dead again. She's just gonna go back into hibernating after this probably, but to voice Captain Lucas, which is also great, and I want to give a huge thank you to all of them. Now let's talk a bit about the story. So as you know, Captain Wex has some plans for a special walker, and it may or may not be an AT-AT walker, but this is a walker that Separatists have been working on, and you know, he has the instructions. Claus and Grinch kind of just left it with him, and they kind of just left him in the woods because they didn't really want him. And now they need those plans. So they went to the Republic because they had no way else of getting him. And they basically just need to track him down, get his number, track him down on Kashyyyk somewhere. And they need to, go get those plans from him, as well as, pick him up probably because he has some useful intel. And that is essentially where they are at in the story right now, and their plan is to bring these things back to the Republic. Hopefully that will allow the Republic to, kind of welcome them back in with open arms, since they're in some dicey territory. With that said, please remember to subscribe, hit the bell, and we're going to get right on into the MOC. Hello everyone, so welcome to the MOC. This is obviously a Republic base, or at least a section of it, and basically we have a little hallway, the little command room, and this is basically a little pit stop of an area for the Republic base. We've had a lot of these little pop-up bases, and this is the main base for the campaign. Now, obviously, we just saw, as you know, our friends from Rico Aleko Star Wars Story Series, my stop-motion series on my channel, which you can check out. I'll leave a little card, and it's absolutely amazing. And we brought back our friends, including Admiral Daly, who is, of the stop motions, and he's obviously a good friend of mine, a fellow YouTuber, so check him out, as well as Brick Regent, which is great. But yeah, so this is obviously before that series takes place, so a lot of the friends haven't met yet, but we do have Captain Lucas, or not Captain Lucas, but Lucas, Private Lucas, and Sergeant Rico. They are right there. We also have Gary. We also have George and Gus. They are all in it. They were all in an old squad, which is pretty cool, which we learned and I talked about. But yeah, so we have all this exciting stuff. We have, first off, we'll just start off with the ship. Here is their ship, the Resistance ITS transport. Fits perfectly around here. I'm gonna move it just because, it takes up a lot of space. But yeah, that's the ship they are going to go on to go find Corporal Kermit, or Captain Kermit, even though he isn't a captain. And yeah, so here it is. Obviously, nothing too exciting in terms of this area. It's mostly tiled. That's like half the MOC right there. But yeah, so this is mainly filler over here. There's this little wall here, and I'll show you why in a bit. You'll see there's a little function for that. But yeah, so we also have this little built-in little command thing, which is very nice. We have some little barrels there just to fill that out. And some cool figures. All the boys are just kind of chilling around. We got Bricko and all of those boys. Obviously, some of these clones are just base, like, security and patrol, and that sort of stuff. But yeah, ooh, what's that? We'll get to that in a bit. Yeah, so here is another little midsection area. This was a hallway, and I was trying to replicate it looking like a hallway, mainly because I wanted to get this effect for over here. And there's, like, obviously you get a little entrance. This is a little commons type area. It's kind of being used for stuff. It's being used for all the different cases and barrels. You also got barrels and Gonk Droid. He's been in like every MOC and video so far. And these two boys, I believe that's Connor and Boomer. Now, there's a little Easter egg here, and I'll explain that in a second. But first off, I want to show you the cool doors. Now, the way I built this was obviously I need to have it slide for the little stop motion thing, and I wanted to do that. Also, by the way, what do you think of the new technique? So yeah, so all I did was this. And you just take it in, and you could slide it like this, and I think it works great, and it really can go either way. It looks amazing. I really like the way that looks, and obviously it looks a little weird over there, but I think having the ability to do that and that, it looks great. And you can see it from both sides, which is also fantastic. Look at that. Clone Traitors. It's so exciting. Over here, we have Admiral Daly and Captain Theory, both characters from the stop motion. They both have a pretty similar face now that I look at it. But yeah, so there's a little command room, nothing too particularly special. We have the command table, their pilot is briefing them, as well as KB2, who was in the stop motion Rico 2. So this is how he gets there. This is like a little backstory, and yes, the universes are intertwined. But yeah, I really like the way the door is looking, especially the way it kind of like, I just like the way that works. Now, moving over here to this little Easter egg I've been wanting to tell you all about. It is our friends 2nd Airborne and Memes. Now, this is a porta-potty. Yes, indeed. Look at that. And the funny thing about this is where Gary was first introduced. I put a little clone in a porta-potty, and in a MOC, and said, oh, this guy's name is, I don't know, Gary, and he's kind of turned into an icon. So I figured I'd put these boys in it, so that way they weren't forgotten. I know my friends, DaleyTactics Memes, who's different from DaleyTactics, and, and 2nd Airborne Productions, or Airborne. I figured I'd put them both in here, because they are both very cool, and they look great, obviously. Nothing super different about them. They all look similar from their stop-motion appearance. I figure we will once again reunite Gary with his little toilet seat. He could go have fun in there. You earned it, Gary. Good job. And we're just gonna shimmy that door closed. Since all these boys are obviously not canonically here, because, you know, all the boys, they didn't meet yet. He didn't meet, anyone really, like, they were from a different fleet. To get into the outro, I want to give a quick plug to my Patreon. These types of videos take hours upon hours to produce. This one took about 10 hours to produce, and it would really help me out if you either click the join button or became a Patreon. It would really help me out a ton. Our Patreon is going super strong, and anyone who becomes a member can get a named character in Clone Traitors, this series. So if you want to get a named character, and you get a certain tier, you will be able to, obviously, become a character. So please consider joining. It is in the description. I really appreciate it. So yeah, there you go. Now we know Gary and his little squad of men are going together. Now again, these guys were an original squad. They were training on Kamino, Rico, Lucas, Gary, Gus, and George. They were all a squad together on Kamino, which is pretty cool. And you know, obviously that's very neat that they came back together, and that's how he knows Admiral Daly. He was their overseeing officer on Kamino, which is absolutely cool. I think that's really neat to see these boys progress together. And maybe we'll see more, like, we'll do a Clone Traitors, like, flashback series after this one, if it ends. Or we'll do something along those lines. But it's interesting, and if you've seen Rico Lego Star Wars Story 2, you will know Rico did some exposition on his old squad, and I never really touched upon that. But this is a very scary thing. If you can go back and watch and find the scene where he talks about it in that stop motion, so I'll leave a link in the description to Rico Lego Star Wars Story 2. But obviously this is very scary because it's a past thing, and yeah, you'll see once you watch it. It's not great. In terms of the rest of the squad, they are basically going to be chilling on the base, which is obviously just chill. They've been through a lot. They've jumped out of gunships and tracked long miles. They've been through a lot. I think they deserve a nice little break. You know, they're gonna chill here. If the boys ever need any backup, they can just jump right on a ship and come to them. Or if something else happens, we'll see. We're probably going to be following along. We might be alternating between them, what's going on with them and what's going on with Gary, because I assume it's going to be a little bit of a prolonged type mission, which should be interesting. But I can't wait to see Captain Kermit. This is the big hype up thing. We've been waiting to bring in Captain Kermit. Then again, check out my Patreon, check out Daily, check out Brick Regent, subscribe, hit the bell, do all the other things, and I'll see you all in the next one. Remember to peace out and stay awesome.